Faith isn't something which can be earned. It is something which is received from God and then exercised by man. This doesn't mean God grants us the faith to believe and then we will then believe. It means that God grants us the faith to believe and we may believe. We're not Calvinists here. This is no different than God granting us the ability to accomplish mathematical skills. We may choose to use this ability or not. Maybe a better example would be the ability to swim. Swimming is possible for any normally constructed person, but it does take a step of faith to actually exercise the ability. The ability is given by God, but it doesn't mean that the choice will be exercised. Faith is not earned, it is received, and then it must be put into practice. Once the faith is properly applied, you will be saved. This follows through with the very idea of belief. There are different meanings to the word believe. One can know that Christians say Jesus is God, fully comprehending what that means, and simply not believe it is true. Jehovah's Witnesses do this all the time. Or one can believe that Jesus is God and not believe in Jesus as God. In other words, submit to that fact. A person could say, I have done the study and I truly believe that the gospel is true, but I just don't accept it for me. I want nothing to do with Jesus. Or one can hear the word, believe it is true, and by faith appropriate that truth for himself. The difference between the second two comes down to willingness to believe and confess, as Paul says is necessary in Romans 10, 9 and 10. John gives us a case of exactly this difference in John chapter 12. He says there, nevertheless, even among the rulers, many believed in him. They believed, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him. He's taken the words Paul used in Romans 10, and he's showing that it doesn't apply to these people. They did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. John uses the same word that Paul uses in Romans 10. Therefore, the confession is not a work, but a yielding to God. Without the confession, the grace of God cannot be appropriated because the faith has not truly been exercised. Does everybody get that? If not, read this again. But this process has nothing to do with the MacArthur false gospel of making Jesus Lord, meaning master of one's life and submitting to his sovereign authority. That is a step outside of the bounds of the one true and simple gospel of salvation by grace through faith.